Daily Broadside to 834. You know what's remarkable to me most about Tesla ownership? Not that the company has just exploded and making all this money and everybody's buying them and all that. And, I've never owned one, never ridden one. I don't know what the fit and finish of those things are. I don't know if they're good cars or whatnot. I find it kind of silly to have one unless you've just got like a 10-minute commute every day, because couldn't imagine taking a road trip in one of those things or going any kind of long distance. That'd just be too problematic for my type of lifestyle there. But here's what I find odd. I find it odd, and obviously they have options because you don't see this in every one, but there's so many people that choose white leather. I had a sixth grade science teacher, Mr. Bates, who paddled me several times. He was a ornery, hateful old man, and I'm sure I didn't do much to make his life easy, but he had a series of Chrysler New Yorkers. That was his car of choice, with the tire outline on the trunk and all, and he had white leather. And that's white leather should have been left in the 80s, late 70s, maybe some Cadillacs, that kind of stuff, that baby blue, that kind of stuff. But people are choosing white leather like in remarkable droves. You just don't see it very often, And I'll add this to this story. Here's why you don't want white leather, because things happen in life sometimes. Hopefully only sometimes. But I was at a convenience store one time. I walked out and I got back in my car. I was thinking it was a Circle K, and that was the brand. And they had a detached car wash with, the outside vacuum pumps on the little brick island and all. And there's a dude in like a 2000s Buick LeSabre, tan as I recall. He looks like he's in his late 70s, maybe early 80s. And he's leaning out of the car, like with the door open, leaning out, holding on to the door. His head's like 12 inches off the ground. And he's dragging a pair of pants out of the floorboard from the driver's footwell. And I noticed at that point that he's also not wearing pants. And I'm like, well, this has my attention. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this. Now, normally I would help old people. I have no problems with that. I do it all the time, quite frankly, whatever you need. I find that if I'm in public and somebody needs something, whether it's something loaded in a parking lot, into their truck or whatever, and they can't do it myself, I'm more than willing to help. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've done that in my life. But I draw the line when you've shat yourself. And that's what this man had done. As I see, the pants are now inside out. He's completely pantless. His underwear are tangled up in the mess. I can only imagine the devastation to the LeSabre seats, which were cloth, not white leather. But that brings me to my point. And he leans over and he's got them. And now he has procured his cane, I guess, that he uses to walk, because in his elderly state, he needed some stability to be, his own motor-propelled conveyance, bipedal conveyance. And he's using, as he reaches over and he leans over to the right side, he gets his thing and he scoops up. He's trying to scoop up with his cane the shat-laden, what do you call it? The shat-laden pants. He finally gets it kind of steadied on his cane, and I'm like, and the only thing I can think of is, I hope wherever he's putting those pants is he's putting that cane, because that cane can never be used again in my book. Once you have got shat-stained shat onto your cane, even if it's the business end of the cane that touches the ground, people are going to be like, is that crap on your cane? Like, you don't want a crap cane, So he scoops it up, and now he's got it on there, and he's balancing these heavier than normal pants. As he drives with the door open, his naked left leg is holding the door open while he puts the car in reverse, and he's backing up to go where? Oh, he's going over to the brick island to toss the pants into the, the little, you got the two vacuums, and then you got that trash can with the like R2D2 like hood over top of it, so you can't put like tons of crap in there. It kind of limits how much trash you can put in there or what size trash. It's kind of like going to like Moe's or something, and they got the holes just big enough for the trash, but not the tray. Because don't throw away the tray. That adds up, we jack up the prices. So he's driving backwards with, the pants and the foot out the door. How he didn't take out the entire car wash in his elderly state, because, your eyes kind of go away, especially in reverse. Most people can't drive in reverse very well. And he gets over there, and now he's cramped. He's not getting out of the car because, again, he's completely exposed from the waist down. And I'm just sitting here, and I've got a complete vantage point. I'm probably, 15 yards from this man. And I'm just, just aghast at what's going on in my civilization. And he finally like crams them into the, as another reason, always use gloves when you're emptying these trash cans. If you work at a Sheetz or a Sunoco or whatever, and you got to go out every 20 minutes and empty the trash cans of the pumps because people just clean out their entire car while their car's pumping. Can't say I haven't done that either. But nevertheless, I've never put anything in there that's not supposed to be normal refuse, right? This isn't a biohazard disposal unit, but that's what he's turned it into. And he crams that thing in there. And then I guess he drove home naked and afraid. I can only hope that he had a garage or lived off the road, off the beaten path, away from the prying eyes of neighbors, because they would be like, well, Emmett's out there again. Mr. Johnson's naked again, And so my point is, just chill with the white leather, because, you could be Emmett Johnson one day and, have problems with that. And last thing I'll tell you before I run out of time here is you got to be a very thankful for the things that you have in your life. It's the little things. And I'll give an example. The other day, not far, a town near where I live is destroying. I would say destroying. They're tearing down probably an 8, 9, 10 acre factory that used to be there. And they've been taking it down since like last fall. Every time I go by, there's like another, 1,000 square feet gone and whatnot. And it's like 3 stories, maybe, the height of it at least. And they're taking it down, all the metal, all the brick, all the concrete. I mean, you can only imagine. I mean, if you've ever done that kind of stuff, that's a lot of work. And there was these 3 Hispanic gentlemen sitting there last week. And, they got the bricks that are, I guess they're like 10 inches, 12 inches long, that people are repurposing and putting in their homes, right, to give it that old school look. And they're sitting out there with these bricks. They're not even normal bricks, they're twice as long almost. And with rock hammers, they're just chipping the concrete off of these bricks. And they've got a pile of these things that's got to weigh 8,000 pounds. I mean, it was the equivalent of like 3 yards of concrete. And they're just sitting around, and I'm sure they're having a good time as far as their conversation, but they're basically chipping concrete off of bricks. And when I went by there like 2 days later, there was about 8 pallets of bricks that were wrapped in cellophane that presumably those gentlemen did for that entire mildly hot afternoon. It was probably 80, 78, 80. And I thought to myself, man, you think your life sucks sometimes, and then you wake up and you're like, you got to thank the Lord that you're not sick, you're healthy, you don't have a fever or a cold that day, and you're not chipping bricks, and you don't have white leather. Good day, a giddy.